The Dead Mountain Mystery. February 1959. The Ural Mountains were silent. But that silence would soon be broken by one of the most disturbing mysteries in modern history. 9 young hikers, experienced, intelligent, physically strong, set out on what was supposed to be a challenging winter expedition. They were students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was to reach Otorten Mountain and complete a Category 3 hiking certification, the highest level at the time. They were confident, prepared, determined. But they chose to camp on the slope of a mountain known by the local Mansi people as Kolat Shakal, which translates to Dead Mountain. On February 1st, as powerful winds swept across the open slope, the group pitched their tent directly on the mountainside instead of descending into the forest for shelter. Some later believed this decision may have sealed their fate. That night, temperatures dropped to nearly minus 30 degrees Celsius. Snowstorms reduced visibility. The darkness was absolute, and sometime during the night, something happened. Weeks later, when the group failed to send word or return, search teams were organized. On February 26th, rescuers finally located the campsite. The sight was chilling. The tent was partially buried in snow, but more disturbingly, it had been slashed open from the inside. It looked as if the hikers had panicked and escaped in a hurry. Footprints in the snow told a strange story. They showed that the group had calmly walked away from the tent, not run, but many were barefoot. Some wore only socks. Others were in light clothing, completely unsuitable for the freezing conditions. The tracks led toward a forest over a kilometer away. Under a large cedar tree at the edge of the forest, the first 2 bodies were discovered. They were dressed only in underwear. Nearby, the remains of a small fire suggested they had tried desperately to survive the cold. Their hands were badly burned and torn, as if they had attempted to climb the tree. Between the tree and the tent, 3 more bodies were found, positioned as though they had tried to return to camp but collapsed from hypothermia. But the final 4 hikers were not discovered until May, when the snow melted. And their condition was far more disturbing. One had massive chest injuries so severe that experts compared the force to a car crash, yet there were no external wounds. Another suffered a crushed skull. One female hiker was missing her tongue. Parts of her face and eyes were gone. Yet strangely, there were no signs of a struggle, no defensive wounds, no footprints from other people, no evidence of an attack. Even more unsettling, some of the clothing showed traces of radiation. The official Soviet investigation concluded that the group had died due to a compelling natural force. The case was quickly closed. Many documents were classified. For decades, theories have surrounded the Dyatlov Pass incident. Some believe a small avalanche may have frightened the group, forcing them to escape their tent quickly. But critics argue that the slope was not steep enough, and the footprints showed calm movement, not chaotic escape. Others suspect secret military weapons testing. The region was known for experimental activity at the time. Some witnesses reported seeing strange orange lights in the sky during that period. Then there are the more extreme theories. Infrasound caused by wind patterns creating psychological panic. A violent encounter with the indigenous Mansi tribe, though no evidence supports this. A Yeti attack, or something unexplained, something unknown. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case and officially stated that a rare slab avalanche was responsible. According to their conclusion, snow buildup on the tent caused internal panic, leading the hikers to cut their way out and flee temporarily, only to succumb to the cold. But many questions remain unanswered. Why were some injuries so severe without external damage? Why were certain soft tissues missing? Why was radiation detected? Why leave without proper clothing in freezing temperatures? More than 60 years later, the mystery still fascinates investigators, scientists, and horror enthusiasts alike. 9 young adventurers went into the mountains full of life and ambition. None of them survived to explain what truly happened that night. The wind still blows across Dyatlov Pass. Snow still buries the slope each winter. And somewhere beneath that frozen silence, the truth may still be waiting. Some mysteries fade with time, but some remain locked in ice forever.